In this video, Kevin and I are going to discuss the TV shows and movies that we watched during the month of November. We've been doing this for the past few months and we enjoy it, and I think a lot of you all enjoy it too, or you wouldn't be watching it. I have urged you all before you should write down what you're watching because it's just interesting because you forget.
Oh yeah, you forget what you watched at the beginning of the month.
Yes.
Like, oh, I forgot I watched that movie.
Exactly. So
especially some of the movies we've watched.
Exactly, they're oddballs. I have a page full, but I did not include some things that I didn't think of until I'm sitting here right now. The Connors is back on, which used to be called Roseanne. We're watching that. Young Sheldon. We love Little Moon Pie, love Young Sheldon, love him. And I love everybody in the cast. Brilliant. They're so wonderful.
I'm glad that show doesn't have this, almost every show has a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad this one doesn't have that.
No.
That aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because it's not, sometimes it's just not, it doesn't fit and it's not good.
Right. Yeah, no.
An adversary.
Yeah, this, no.
Doesn't need it.
It's so good. And then, Survivor.
And the Connors, that whole family's adversarial. So the whole thing, they're all arguing with each other.
Survivor, I didn't write that down. And
we've
so
been
we're
watching
watching Survivor every single week. We still love Survivor. I was so happy with who got eliminated last week. I won't say in case you're behind, but I was really happy. I never thought that person would go. So glad, because I thought that person's going to win the game. Anyway.
I knew people would see through that person.
So glad they're gone. And then I'm watching a new show that I didn't write down. I don't remember the name of it. It's on Peacock, and it's like the Real Housewives. It's a girls trip. It's so they've taken some people from like a bunch of the Real Housewives franchises
and stuck them together,
and they put them together, and they went on vacation for 1 week. It's a 7-day trip, and they filmed it.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of drama in 7 days with that group. Doesn't take long.
Yeah.
About an hour.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, especially when like you have people like Ramona. Even Kevin knows who Ramona is.
I know a lot of the names from the original like 2 or 3 seasons. I didn't watch it, but I knew. I heard it.
Yeah,
and I'm watching a new one too, but I can't remember what the name of it is. Arcadia or something like that. I've only watched one episode of it. It's like a cartoon. It's not a cartoon like in a kid's cartoon. It was like, I don't know. And I'll let you know if I like it if I watch more of it.
Yeah, so I didn't even write those things down. These are all other things. I watched 3 things by myself without Kevin. The first thing, this was a me and Amelia thing. Me and Amelia sat out in the den and we watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966. We actually own this. Boris Karloff narrates it, and he does the whole thing. I mean, from start to finish, it's all his voice. But Amelia really enjoyed it, and I think that just gets you in the spirit of Christmas. And there will be a couple of other Christmas things that Kevin and I watched together coming up. I also watched a show on Netflix called Made, and I would actually watch the whole thing again with Kevin because I liked it so much. I'm just going to read you. I wrote down like what Internet Movie Database said these are about. It's 2021. After fleeing an abusive relationship, a young mother finds a job cleaning houses as she fights to provide for her child and build them a better future. So this stars Margaret Qualley, and I was talking to Bobby in California, and Bobby said, "Oh, that's Andy McDowell's daughter." No, I didn't know that. I told Bobby, I said, I kept wondering, thinking this girl is so beautiful that she doesn't have, it doesn't seem like, they have some kind of makeup on her, but it doesn't seem like she has any makeup on at all. And you can't help but staring at her the entire time she's on the screen. She's beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I was afraid when I started watching it because she is from an abusive relationship. I didn't want to watch something that was going to bring me down. To be honest, I don't want to see some woman or girl getting hit, getting abused, getting pulled by her hair. I don't want to see any of that stuff. This doesn't take it to that level. So there are so many times during the show where you think it's gonna go to that level. It never gets that dark. It really doesn't. So I was completely fine watching it because it never goes that dark. And I truly, truly enjoyed it and would watch it again. Then I watched The Eyes of Tammy Fay, 2021. You can rent it on Amazon Prime. It's an intimate look at the extraordinarily rise and fall and redemption of the televangelist Tammy Fay Baker. Jessica Chastain plays Tammy Fay Baker, and get this, I thought this was interesting. She is now working on a movie called George and Tammy, unless they change the name of it. It's set to release in 2022, and it is a look at the romance between country music stars George Jones and Tammy Wynette, and they were an awesome pair. And I'm not even into country music, but I know they were a good pair. But The Eyes of Tammy Fay, it was very interesting, and it is a good look behind the scenes. And Pat Robertson's mentioned, Jerry Falwell, the 700 Club, all that. It's all mentioned in there. It's all very interesting. You can form your own opinion. I won't give mine. Okay, so now the things that Kevin and I watched together.
You said 3 things. You only gave 2?
I gave 3. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and The Eyes of Tammy Fay. So Kevin and I'm sure he's forgotten this already that we watched it. We watched a movie called Old. You can rent it on Amazon Prime. It's 2021.
It's new.
And do you want me to explain it, or do you want to?
I wrote out a little. Of it.
Okay.
I mean, you can look it up too.
A vacationing family discovers that the secluded beach where they're relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day. So
actually, it's more than a day, but
truly, they're going there, and I was going to talk about the kids, but I hate to give anything away.
I wouldn't give much away.
Okay.
Because really, that's all you really need to know.
That's all you need to know, is they're getting old.
Isn't this an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
You know, I don't know.
I think it is. I think it's one of his. I'm almost positive it's one of his. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think it's one of his, and his always have a little bit of a weird twist to them and a strange bent to them. So
it was worth watching one time.
It was a good one-time movie.
It was, because you're wondering,
what the heck's going on?
What the heck's going on?
And something's going on the whole time. So it's not, at the beginning, you're kind of slow.
It doesn't take long, though, to get into it.
Once they get to the little beach, it picks up pretty
Stuff's
quick.
Happening all the time. And these people are aging, and you have no idea what's going on and what's going to happen to somebody next. There's always stuff going on.
Yeah. So
the only person I recognized was, I wrote her name down. Her name's Beth Davids, and she played Miss Honey in Matilda. She's in that movie. So she's the only one I recognize. You might watch it and recognize.
Is she the mom?
All kinds of people.
No,
she played. No, I'm not going to say who she played. But anyway, she's in it. Then we watched Apex, which you can rent on Amazon Prime. It's 2021, and it stars Bruce Willis.
Save your money. Save your money. It was 100% a cash grab from Bruce Willis. He didn't do anything.
He literally didn't do anything.
He talked a little bit, and he walked around in this forest, and that was.
And it honestly seemed like he limped around the forest most of the time. I mean, I love Bruce Willis. I've always thought he was a good-looking man. Still think
he's gotten to the point though where he's just doing it for the money.
He's doing it for the money because I don't think. I mean, he looked like an elderly man. What the deal is it's like if you ever read the story, The Most Dangerous Game in School. It's men hunting, or men or women hunting people. It's people hunting people. So instead
they're wealthy.
Yeah. So instead of getting, it's kind of like in Squid Games. You know, these wealthy people are watching these. Anyway, these men are going, or women are going to this island to hunt. Instead of hunting animals, they're hunting people. Well, Bruce Willis is it. Tag, he's it. And he has to limp through the forest. I don't know how old Bruce Willis is. I still love him. I still think he's wonderful. But truly, like Kevin said, this was a cash grab.
It seemed like it. Save your money. Wait till it comes out on Netflix or whatever for free. Watch it then if you really want to watch it, but don't pay money.
It was a one time. One time.
It wasn't even worth it.
And you can guess when it starts. You can guess
what's going to happen,
how it's going to end, and you're going to be right. Because
I like the two main characters. I like Bruce Willis, and I like the other guy, which I don't know his name.
Yeah, because he's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he played Tin Man, and
he also was in American Horror Story. And he played the president in American Horror Story.
He's been in a couple of things. I really like him, but this one, both of them seemed like it was a cash grab for both of them.
Teddy Roosevelt? Is that who did he play? Ike Eisenhower. That's right. I couldn't remember which president I didn't want you to think he played the president now. No. This was way back.
Yeah.
Anyway, then the first Christmas movie that Kevin and I watched together was The Bishop's Wife. It's a 1947. I chose it. What happens is we go out in the den and Kevin's like, what do you want to watch? And so I picked it up.
Pick one.
He didn't know what I was going to choose, but it's from 1947. We own this movie, so I don't know where you can watch. You could probably rent it on Amazon. But it has Cary Grant. And so Cary Grant plays this angel that comes to Earth to help this bishop, help him and his church. And Loretta Young plays the wife. And I tell you who really reminds me of Loretta Young is, I don't know about other movies, but in this particular movie, Angelina Jolie. She really, really, really reminds me of Angelina Jolie in that movie. I've never noticed it before until this year watching it, and it's like, she's just so thin.
Yeah, she's very thin.
She's very gaunt.
And she's pretty, too.
And she's attractive. And so it's like, oh my gosh, that looks like Angelina Jolie. But it's a
dark hair.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's clean.
It's black and white.
It's black and white, yes. Then I watched it for the second time. Kevin watched it for the first time. Last Christmas. And it stars Amelia Clark. Amelia Clark played the Mother of Dragons in Game of Thrones.
Completely different view of her in this movie.
Yes. Okay, so you can tell people what you thought of it.
I liked it. It's not something I would want to make a yearly movie.
Oh,
you would watch every. I mean, I would watch it every year if she picks it. But
yeah, I will pick it every year.
Yeah, it's cute. It's definitely worth moving. It's not like these cheap thrown together Hallmark movies.
No, it is not.
And if you love Hallmark movies, I'm sorry, that's just what they always seem like. It's not like our Lifetime movies. It's not like that. This is actually a good Christmas movie that they've added into the rotation.
That's why I didn't watch it for so long. It was recommended to me way back. I think it came out in 2019. Yeah. The reason I didn't watch it is because I thought, that looks like a Hallmark movie just from the cover of it. And I thought, I'm not going to watch that. Mm-hmm. Well, then I did watch it. I love it. And it has the best soundtrack. If you like George Michael at all, you're going to love this movie because you hear George Michael
all through it because she likes him.
And it's not just the song Last Christmas. It's all kinds of George Michael songs. And it's so
because she likes
good.
George Michael, so that's the soundtrack for the movie.
Yes.
It's good. It has a little twist to it, too. So,
yeah. It's a very good movie. And it's bright. She wears colorful clothes.
Good and clean.
She works in a Christmas shop.
For Santa.
And it's so good. Yeah.
It is a good movie.
The Vicar of Dibley. You can watch it on BritBox or rent it on Amazon Prime. It started in 1994. It's Dawn French is the lady who plays the vicar. This town is getting a new vicar in the first episode. And they never in a million years expected it to be a woman.
And she was like the first woman.
Yeah. And
one of the first women.
It is the most hilarious show. We've watched all of them. We even watched lockdown episodes. We watched all the specials. We've watched all there is to watch. Sadly, several of the people who play in that have passed.
Yeah,
died.
Even the young people. One of the young girls.
Yeah, which is very, very sad. But such
a good show.
Yes,
and
absolutely hilarious.
It's in, VHS quality. I mean, it wasn't even the best quality in the world either, but it was still good. I mean,
some of the humor, some of the jokes that they make, honestly, I'm surprised that they got away with it. That I think, though, that the British sense of humor is better in a lot of ways.
It's not as
it's
constrained.
uptight. Yes,
Yeah.
I think Americans, as far as like humor and
especially on TV,
nudity, cussing, stuff like that, I think Americans tend to be very tightly wound, and I don't think they're so tightly wound in the UK. And so there are some things that fly in almost every episode that it's like, they would have never put that on TV.
they would have never said that.
Even now, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't say some of the things they said. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shocking. Yeah, but I loved it. Loved it. Okay, Benidorm. We are watching Benidorm currently.
You've watched some of them before. A few
yes,
here and there.
But I'm
because you were watching them off YouTube.
But I'm pretty much caught up with it now.
Okay.
Where we are. I think we're in like the 3rd season, and you can watch it on BritBox or rent it on Amazon Prime too. But
because Tammy was trying to watch them just what she could on YouTube,
and it's hard to watch it on YouTube because they're not good quality.
Yeah, they look horrible.
Yeah, so I quit watching it for a long time, and then I wanted to watch it with Kevin.
It's hilarious.
You've got somebody from every walk of life, and just like real life, and they're coming together, and it's absolutely gold. It is the best, most hilarious
I mean, it's
show.
laugh out loud funny.
Yes.
So was Bennett. So was the Vicar of Dibley, though.
The Vicar of Dibley.
I laughed out loud multiple times during every one of those episodes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're currently watching that. We also worked our way through a Netflix show called Clickbait, 2021 Clickbait.
It was good. Kind of got repetitive. Kind of got blah towards the end. It was like, I just want it to be done now.
It was 8 episodes, and
could
honestly,
have been done in 4.
I think they could have done it in 4. It went on too long. Yeah. It was interesting.
It was interesting. It had a really good twist at the end. You're like, well, we never caught that one.
No, but honestly, I had to make myself finish it just to finish it because it had gone on for so long.
Yeah.
I was afraid it was going to have 10 episodes, and I thought, gosh, we've got 3 more episodes to go. And we started watching the 8th episode, and Kevin said,
This seems to be our last episode.
Yeah, he said, this seems to be wrapping up. And I said, well, look it up. So he looked it up, and yes, that was the last episode. But it's like, it was good, but it goes on too long.
Yeah, they drug it out too long.
Yeah.
It could have been a really good just movie.
If you had,
it could have actually been a really good 2-hour movie.
Yes, it could have been. If you have the chance on Netflix to watch either Made or Clickbait, I would choose Made.
That doesn't sound like my kind of show.
It's so good though. And her mom plays. Andy McDowell is actually in it.
Doesn't sound like
she's just so beautiful. I love watching beautiful people. She's so beautiful. It's like I would watch again just to look at her. She's just gorgeous.
I always thought Andy McDowell was pretty.
Oh yeah.
And her voice.
Another movie we watched, I would watch this again right now, and Kevin's going to be surprised. Finch. 2021, Apple
with,
TV, Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. That was different.
I would watch it right
There's probably
now.
things you'd catch now that you did in the first time.
You know,
when we first finished watching that, you were like, it was okay.
And then I said right after that, I said, I can see myself watching it again.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And now, once I've had time to process it and everything, I would absolutely watch it again.
I think they did a poor job of explaining some things going on.
I do too.
Well, they explained it, but they explained it so
fast.
Let's
tell them what it's about if they don't know.
It's basically an end of the world kind of movie.
It's an end of the world kind of movie. I'll read you what they say. Tom Hanks. It's a post-apocalyptic Earth. A robot is built to protect the life of his creator's beloved dog. He learns about life, love, friendship, and what it means to be human. And
very advanced robot.
That sounds very, very sappy, but it is not.
No, it's not. It's actually a really good movie.
I really enjoyed it.
Like I said, my only really complaint was they didn't really explain the end of the world kind of part, because I like to know, okay, how did we get here?
Yeah, how did you get to the end of the world?
And
what happened to all the people?
He kind of explained it like really, really quickly, like in a few sentences, and then basically the the coating around the earth. What's it called?
The atmosphere?
Not the atmosphere. the whatever protects us from the sun. I can't think of it right now. It's just my brain is not working. It's basically gone. So radiation, you just burn up. It gets really hot. You know, you just kill over really fast. So that's basically what's happened.
Well, if you get the opportunity to watch it, Tom Hanks, for the most part, he's played in a couple of stinkers, just a couple. For the most part, if it has Tom Hanks in it, it's a pretty good movie.
He played in some stinkers early in his career. I don't think later in his career.
I did not like Sully.
The airplane movie? The one with the airplane?
Not Sully. Sorry, wrong movie.
The
one on the ship.
All right, let me just say, it's an ozone layer. I thought about it. Tammy thought about it, actually. That's what, it blew away the ozone layer, basically, and the sun burns them up.
As I was looking on the Internet Movie Database for that Tom Hanks movie, he said, what is it? I said, ozone. It just came to me. Anyway, Greyhound. I thought Greyhound was a stinker. And
it was very slow. It wasn't bad. It was just slow.
That's the one where they put the woman in it. Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah,
she didn't even need to be in that movie, and they put it in there just to say a woman was in it. Well, then don't put her in there. There was no need for her. Greyhound. I thought that was the biggest stinker ever.
It was a military. If you haven't watched it, it's a military.
That was Tom Hanks. I did not enjoy it at all.
It was actually filmed really, really well. It's just it was slow. Wasn't much going on.
There's no way I would watch it.
If you like military movies, you might really like it.
Complete waste of time. But now, Finch was good.
Yeah, it's worth watching once at least.
We are working Yellowstone. It is back on. So just like I mentioned earlier, we're watching Survivor and the Connors and all that. We're watching Yellowstone. It comes on every Sunday. It's Apple TV. It's Kevin Costner.
Definitely not for kids.
It's not for kids. It's a lot of violence, a lot of dirty talk, and there's a little bit of nudity sometimes, now and again.
It's one person that's nude every time.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't need to be in there, truthfully, but
no, it doesn't need to be in there at all.
But the other stuff follows along with what it's about.
It's I'll read you what it's about. It's Yellowstone follows the Dutton family led by John Dutton, who controls the largest ranch in the United States, under constant attack by those it borders. And so
it's Montana.
Yeah, so and it's just really it's a good show.
It makes you want to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it's yes. If you haven't watched it, now's a good time to start because you can binge it. It'll be the kind of TV show you do want to binge.
And you won't have to get stuck on the cliffhanger at the end of 3.
No,
season 3 ended on a cliffhanger.
It did. None of the other ones did that, and then season 3, and it's like, oh my gosh.
What happened? Gotta wait a whole year.
So that's Apple TV. Then Home Alone, we own Home Alone.
The movie.
1990, Macaulay Culkin plays Kevin McAllister. We watched it with the kids. Spend the night. We watched it last year with the kids,
and they laughed at it. Gavin thought it was hilarious.
Hilarious, yes.
Towards the end, especially.
It's so funny how father and son react differently. Because when Andrew was little, we took Andrew to see Home Alone, and Andrew got furious with the people trying to break in and to the house. He would get mad when they would do things. Gavin laughs his head off. Gavin thinks it's hilarious when they get hurt. Well, he also
knows what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, but I mean, Andrew would get mad. Gavin just thinks it's hilarious. It's just the difference in kids, you know. But we enjoyed that. The Great British Bake Off.
Finished that.
Just finished. And I think for a long time we thought we were between two people that we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be Jurgen or Giuseppe. And then Jurgen left earlier than what we thought. And we were like, oh my gosh, mind blown, you know, because he was so good.
He was good.
But I thought Giuseppe was better the whole time anyway. Yeah. So I knew Giuseppe was going to win.
Yeah. We almost always predict within the top. We usually at least get the person in the top 3.
Yes.
Every time.
And there were certain people who went home during the season. I was glad they went home. They were annoying. But it's always a wonderful show. It's clean. Anybody can watch it. Now
I learned something.
We are currently watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
It just started.
It's fantastic. If you've ever watched, what is that, Love Actually? Love Actually has a little scene with Ant and Dec. And it's so funny now because we watch Love Actually every single year for Christmas.
Seeing how young they were.
Yes, they were so young in that movie. And
Dec, he's the taller one, right, with the big forehead.
Ant is the tall one.
With the big forehead.
Ant's the tall one.
He said he's almost 50. And it's like, wow, that's hard to believe. You're almost 50.
It's amazing. But I think our favorite person was Richard Madeley. And Richard Madeley has already gone home.
Spoiler if you haven't watched that one.
Because he got sick.
Yeah, he got sick. He didn't get voted out or anything.
No, he thought he could be sick and he left. And because of restrictions with COVID, because he was out in the normal world, they wouldn't let him come back in.
Yeah.
So
because everybody on the show, including the Bake Off, they're in lockdown they're probably in lockdown for two or 3 weeks before filming starts. And then filming starts and they're locked down in this hotel, and at least in the Bake Off, they're in the hotel the entire time. They don't leave.
Which is really funny how strict they are with stuff like that, because Kevin and I are in Walmart like 5 times a week.
I was wondering about this.
Rubbing elbows with people.
I wonder about the staff in that hotel that they were staying in. Did they not go home either?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did they stay the entire time that they were filming?
You mean on the set of the Great British Bake Off?
Because they were in a bubble basically in that hotel that the contestants couldn't
somebody's
leave.
delivering them food.
They could be getting shipments of food in and they're cooking it all right there in the.
Yeah, but who's delivering the food?
Yeah, they could deliver it and leave.
But they say you touch something.
I know. It's still an interaction of some
There's
kind.
still interaction. That's what I'm saying. There's still interaction. You're touching things that other people have touched one way or another, whether you like it or not. You're touching things that somebody else has touched, because if somebody put
of course, they could spray down the boxes.
If they could. We've never done that, but I know some people were really, cleaning their groceries and all that stuff. But I just know that it's interesting. It's not funny, haha, but it's interesting to me that they're being so strict about it when we're at the store constantly, and it's just different. It's just different.
It's different.
But the last thing,
I'd say they just have to follow whatever guidelines that the government's putting forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yes, you can do your show, but
you have to do this.
Yeah.
The last thing that I want to mention that we're watching is Tiger King, the second season of Tiger King.
It's turned into the Carol Baskin show, truly.
Yes.
Well, I mean, what else are they going to talk about? Tiger King's in prison.
He's in prison.
What else are they going to talk about?
It's all about Carol Baskin.
And her missing husband.
Her missing husband.
That's what the last episode was 100% about that. Absolutely. And most of the previous one was.
Yes. I mean, it's if you're interested at all, that's what it's about, is about Carol Baskin.
And you understand why she filed a lawsuit about not being in that episode, because it's all about her in this season, and she didn't want to be. She supposedly didn't sign the contract to say she would be in a second season, but it's turned into a Carol bashing show, that's for sure.
Yes, really. So I can understand.
Not that I'm on her side or one way or the other, but I'm just saying that's what it's turned into.
But it is all about her. So if you're interested at all, and maybe you're sick of Joe Exotic, well, this really isn't. He's in there a little bit, occasionally, but not very much. It's mainly about her,
at least in the first few
episodes.
It's
getting into the nitty gritty of like stuff that her missing husband, stuff that he was into that you never knew he was into, and she kept all these journals and stuff like that, and he was into a lot, and it's been very, very eye-opening. So I don't know where it's going.
Nowhere.
Don't know.
No, it's not going anywhere, honestly.
No. But anyway, that's it. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
I think.
We watch a lot more TV than that even seems like.
Yeah, we do.
Because we'll watch these one-off episodes here and there of something.
Yeah, and we still watch episodes of like there's medical shows that we watch. Yeah. We watch episodes of Chopped. We watch, what is that, 24...
first 48.
That's it.
Yeah, when we can catch that, we'll watch the first 48.
Yeah, we'll watch the first 48. There are
some of them are just like, they're not, there's like standalone, they're like a series, but they're like standalone episodes. So we'll just watch them when we catch them.
Yeah, so I mean, there's all kinds of shows we watch, but these are just the main ones that we've been watching. So anyway, if you've watched any of these, you can leave your thoughts below.
Or what's your new favorites?
Yeah, do you have new favorites or something that's come on that you didn't know about? Because I would not have watched, if it weren't for some of you recommending it, I would not have watched Maid. I would not have watched Last Christmas. I watched it last year, but I would have never watched that if you all hadn't have recommended it. I wouldn't have watched Clickbait. There's just several shows like that I wouldn't have watched if it weren't for you all. And if you recommend something and I never mention it, either I've tried it and didn't like it and don't want to hurt your feelings, or I haven't gotten to it yet. Because sometimes I do try to watch things that you all recommend. Sometimes it's just not my cup of tea, but I just don't want to say...
Some shows aren't for everybody.
Some shows aren't for everybody, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, so sometimes I just don't ever mention that I tried it and it just didn't work for me. But you can give all the recommendations below that you want, or tell us what you're enjoying. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.